All right, Jet, Chapter 16. Bath update. I can now submerge myself completely for a full 10 seconds. It makes my earlobes burn and my brain hurt, but I can do it. My record for going in up to my waist is 8 minutes, although I'm pretty sure I can beat that. Progress. The best time to be in the hot springs is when it's raining because 1, there's nobody else around to laugh at me, and 2, it's possible that the rain lowers the water temperature by a 50th of a degree. Every little bit helps. Today's schedule was supposed to be breakfast, awakening, bath, meditation, lunch. But because of the storm, the rest of the kids are in arts and crafts making indoor tornadoes in jars. I'm fine to ditch so long as I rejoin the group in time for meditation. Nobody ever ditches meditation except for Brooklyn. As much as I'm considered the rebel around here, she's the one who actually is one. It's not that she's a bad attitude like me. Instead, she has this uncanny ability to treat the whole oasis like it's something that doesn't apply to her. I wish I could figure out what her deal is. Oh well, it's probably not that interesting anyway. I stay in the bath as long as I can, the rain on my upper half compensating for the scalding water on my lower. It's surprisingly not terrible, relaxing almost. I'm kind of grooving on the cool, hot contrast, and for a moment I can see what Grace likes so much. But when I hear a few rumblings of thunder, I scoot out of there. Toweled off and dressed, I catch up with the others scampering through the rain to the meditation center. I ignore Grace's glare and focus on a couple of meaningful glances from my candy bar customers. I flash them thumbs up. Yes, we're open for business, and quickly jam my hands into my pockets when Ivory arrives to greet us. Stick around after class, the meditation pathfinder tells me as she ushers everyone in out of the rain. There's something I want to run by you. I notice an envious look from Grace, one that asks, how come I'm not getting singled out for special attention when I stink at meditating and she's the teacher's pet? I say, sorry, Ivory, but I really have to go. And that's usually where my brilliant creative mind lets me down. I can't think of a single reason at the Oasis that I really have to go, and she beams at me. I only need a few minutes of your time. Class is even more awful than usual. When you're facing a one-on-one time with Ivory, the last thing you want to do is clear your mind. She's the kind of person you want to stay alert with. Nimbus can be annoying with his goofy philosophies and his pillars of wellness and his being whole, but he's basically a nice guy. His number 2, on the other hand, creeps me out. What's this about? When Ivory dismisses us, I burrow into the center of a group and try to shuffle out the door with everybody else. But an iron grip on my wrist holds me back. As soon as everybody else is gone, so is Ivory's CoverGirl smile. Follow me. To make sure I go with her, she half drags me out of the group meditation room into her office. I'm getting nervous. What's up? Wordlessly, she shuts the door. I'm surprised at how dark it gets, and I realize there are thick curtains over the windows. She pulls something out of the desk drawer and holds it under my nose. It's a Snickers wrapper. Explain this. Hey, you're not supposed to have that, I say disapprovingly. There's no candy at the Oasis. That just makes her madder. Wrappers like this one are all over, both in the woods and here at the center. I see lackluster appetites, poor concentration, sluggish behavior. Someone is providing candy to the young people here. My money's on you. Deny everything. That's Vlad's motto when he gets dragged in to testify before Congress. I don't know anything about that, I reply with as straight a face as I can manage. In answer, she produces a pen and begins to draw it back and forth in front of my face. Then, in her melodic meditation voice, she says, "You are not fooling anyone, Jet. The truth, please." I start following the movement of the pen. I can't explain it. What do I care about her stupid pen? And yet, when something is tracing a path before your eyes, you're almost compelled to go with it. Ivory thumbs a switch and the pen lights up with a bluish glow. What are you doing? I ask. My voice sounds strangely far away. Where are you getting the candy? Ivory probes, her tone growing deeper. Here's where things start to get strange. I really, really want to tell her. It makes no sense. Why would I ever spill my guts to Ivory? Tell me, Ivory urges. It's a great weight pressing down on you. Let me take some of your burden. You'll feel so much lighter. And I actually experience the weight. It's crushing me. I'm so lucky to have a wonderful friend like Ivory who's willing to save me. I can't believe I ever thought she was a jerk. The story forms on my tongue. The motor launch, the trips to Hedge Apple. I'm about to tell her everything when another voice comes to me. Not Ivory's. This one belongs to my father, heading up the portable stairs to the Gulf Stream for his Washington trip. Deny, deny, deny. I bite down on my own tongue hard enough to taste the blood. The sudden spasm of pain jolts me from my trance. I lash out and smack that pen from Ivory's hand. It hits the floor and skitters across the room. You will remain in that chair, Ivory thunders. But I'm free of her now. Her words don't sound reasonable anymore, just the opposite. She's dangerous, and the more distance I can put between us, the better. With my tongue on fire and blood dribbling down my chin, I throw the door open and take off like a gazelle. I blast out of the meditation center and make a beeline for our cottage. I glance over my shoulder, fully expecting to see Ivory coming after me, but she's not. Maybe she doesn't want to explain to the whole oasis why she's tackling a 12-year-old kid. The nature of her true attack was different. I'm just not sure I understand what it was. I don't want to be in range of it anymore. It scares me, and I don't scare easily. I burst into the cottage where Matt is sitting in the lotus position on the carpet, deep in meditation. There's a mini vaporizer in front of him, and that fake incense mist hangs heavy in the room. I hate that smell. Sewer gas mixed with perfume. Wait till you hear this, I blurt. Without glancing up, Matt says, shh, I'm concentrating. Yeah, well, concentrate on me for a second. Your girl Ivory just tried to attack me. That gets his attention. But when he opens his eyes, I realize he's staring at the bloody smear on my chin. Not that, I exclaim. I did that to myself. This was different. There was a pen, and I felt sort of woozy, and it's like everything she said was so reasonable. The events in the darkened office tumbled out of me, and I'm aware that I'm not making any sense, but the feeling is so close I can almost reach back and touch it, wanting to do anything, say anything that would please Ivory. Ivory, who I can't even stand. What was happening to me? When I stumble on the answer, it bubbles right out. Matt, I think Ivory just tried to hypnotize me. You were meditating, Matt explains patiently. Ivory must have guided you to a new and deeper plane. That's great. It wasn't meditation, I insist. It was after class. She wasn't guiding or pathfinding. It wasn't friendly. Considering how rattled I am, I managed to stay pretty calm. That ends when Matt closes his eyes and resumes meditating. Are you listening to me, I demand? Do you even care that Ivory was messing with my mind? You're misreading things, he murmurs. You're not here to meditate or be whole. I snatch the vaporizer off the floor. Your job is to look out for me. He reaches for it. Hey, I need that. Enraged, I cock back my arm and heave the thing full force against the wall where it shatters. No! With a gasp, Matt falls on the pieces like Brandon Bulkhall's dad jumping on a fumble during his NFL days. Ivy entrusted me with that. I take sight of him lying on the floor, cradling the shards of plastic and metal as if there's something beyond treasure, precious. This used to be Matt Luganis, the most promising young programmer and engineer at Fuego who was being groomed by Vlad himself for big things. How did this happen to him? I think back to myself in front of that glowing pen, champing at the bit to tell Ivory everything she wanted to know before Vlad's voice chimed in and rescued me. If the meditation pathfinder can make me want to spill my guts, what can she do to the dozens of people like Matt, who she meets with one-on-one? I can summon up my father when I need him. Everybody else is a sitting duck. Maybe it's time to learn more about Ivory and these special meditation sessions.